It is, but I think this series has been like none other. So you're going to see it pushes up some different set of circumstances. But for some reason, yes, we had a look at Melbourne United. We saw them in their pre-warm-up routines, and they did not look intimidated. They didn't look nervous. There were smiles on the faces, and we saw during Game 3, there looked like there was a bit of back and forth with some of their players. So whether or not we're reading too much into that as well, who knows? But we'll find out pretty quick in the start of this one, I suspect.
Look, the bottom line is, in Game 2 here, Andrew, Melbourne United were dominant for 2.5 quarters. They were up 15 points with 6.5 minutes to go in the third. They went nowhere offensively after that. If they can come out and just provide a little bit of that type of play, what they showed in the first half of that game, they'll be well positioned to win this game going into the fourth.
Is there any concern from you two with the amount of energy expenditure that Melbourne have put into the officiating this series? We know that Chris Golding, you ride the highs and lows of his emotions, that at times we've seen Daly getting into it, Joe Luala-Chul, and it looks to have put them off their game at least a couple of times at pivotal moments.
Yeah, we made that comment during Game 3. It looked like the JackJumpers were handling some of the highs and lows of the officiating a little bit better than Melbourne United, but I have no concerns with their endurance and the way in which this team's been put together. They are very deep. One player we haven't spoken a lot about is Ian Clark. They need to shoot the ball well. He never had a great one, 3 of 11 in Game 3, and they need to find a way to get him going. And also, I'm interested in the JackJumpers strategy to go small, because Melbourne United relied on getting into the paint, finishing around the rim, and with their bigs, they've had that rim protection. They won't have as much as that tonight without Lee, and they'll start with Chris Levick, who doesn't have that same presence.
The other thing I want to see, how professional is Melbourne United? They need to control their emotions, as you mentioned before, because the more emotional they are here, that is going to feed into this crowd and cause even more disruption. You need to silence this crowd with good performance and icy cool demeanor.
Well, you talk about the crowd right there. They were electric in Game 2 where we're going to be here. Surely they break the decibel meter a little bit more today, and you can see it throughout the city, the buses covered. How special would this be? As someone who knows the NBL history through and through, how special would it be for the league and the city for Tassie to take this out?
Oh, it'd be huge. It'd be one of the greatest sporting achievements that this state has ever experienced. So there's a lot at stake, but they've got a lot of support, and looking forward to seeing the outcome.
40 minutes stands between Tasmania and history, or maybe another 40 if we go through to Easter Sunday. Melbourne, Tasmania, Game 4 starts now.
2 games in, and we are tied at 1-1. It was a decisive victory for Melbourne in Game 1. The JackJumpers live the motto in Game 2. This series is up for grabs. Every single moment in this game matters. Dellavedova. Got it! Golding from really deep, from seriously deep. JackJumpers refuse to lay down. It's been their way since day 1.
This game is electric.
This is something special that we're seeing right now. Championship basketball at its very best. Ariel hook party! That is ferocious. Look out! Oh my! That is some sort of jam. The juke dang has been the 4th quarter spark for Tasmania. Dang foul, scores. Travers up top. Bang! Jordan Crawford hits the 3.
This has been one of the quarters of the season.
Great finish. Tasmania take the lead. The lead continues to change between these two. How many twists and turns have we got left? Crawford inside for Deng. Not the first time, got it the second. This game is absolutely wild. Here comes Dellavedova. Dellavedova with a hand in the face. Final minute. Here's Doyle. Milton Doyle. And he got it. Down the middle and scores. Blocked by Travers. Wow. What are we witnessing? 1-point game. 8 seconds. Wow. Loose ball. Doyle kept it in. Here's the JackJumpers chance. Game 4, and it means everything. Tasmania are just one win away from the ultimate glory in just their third season. If they get the job done tonight, then cue one almighty party. But it won't be handed to them, because standing in their way is Melbourne United. They were the standard bearer throughout the season, and tonight they will need to be at their very, very best to send this series to a fifth and deciding game. Hello and welcome to a sold-out MyState Bank Arena in Tasmania, where an entire state hangs on the result of tonight's game. It's the JackJumpers and Melbourne United. I'm Jack Hebron. It is my honour and privilege to be here, as always, and to work with Joe Healy and Andrew Gaze. And Joe, our first big surprise of the night with the Tasmanian starting five.
Yeah, exactly right, Jack. Fabian Krislovic starting in place of Marcus Lee. It feels like Lee can't catch a break at the moment, Drewy, but do you think that the Jackies, they've got enough to fill the void?
Oh, absolutely. It's a different look, but they'd be encouraged what happened in that fourth quarter in Game 3, where they were able to spread the floor and knock down some shots. I think early on, though, when you look at the way the Melbourne United play, they like to get into the paint, and not having Marcus Lee there just to protect the rim, that'll help Melbourne United. But Krislovic brings a different set of skill sets, and he will be enjoying the opportunity to start, and how they adjust offensively and defensively with that smaller lineup is going to be a big eye watch.
What about Jack McVeigh, the man of the moment? How important is it for him to continue to step up and lead the way for the Jackies tonight?
Yeah, he's so level-headed. He's got his routine and he's stuck with it. And after hitting a big shot like that, comes with enormous expectations. And if he can drive on that and take advantage of the emotional high, which it seems he can, then I think it can work in their favour. But he's going to be a big part of it. If Jack McVeigh doesn't play well, it makes it tough for the JackJumpers.
Very, very quickly, what's going through the players' minds right now? You've been here before.
They'd be anxious. They'd be really anxious and excited to get it started. The first 2 or 3 minutes may not be their best basketball, and who settles for quickest is going to go a long way to determining who wins.
Well, it's arguably the biggest game in the JackJumpers' sort history. As for Melbourne United, John Casey, Derek Rucker, you're with them.
Thanks very much, Joe. Yes, good evening, everyone. Derek, Melbourne have lost their last 4 games on the road. They haven't won on the road since Australia Day up in Brisbane, and you were there. We know about the back-to-back losses for the first time. Have they lost their form?
Well, they haven't been performing well, obviously, over the past 6 weeks or so on the road, and they've looked somewhat listless. Game 2, though, they looked very good. I think based on that performance and the fact that they will be angry, Case, after dropping 2 in a row and ending their mantra for the year, I think you'll see a very professional and charged-up Melbourne United in this first half.
Pedigree of Melbourne, well, we know how good it is. Matthew Dellavedova has been to the championship game in the NBA with LeBron James, who described him as the toughest man on his team. He won't want to go down here today.
No, and he was a part of the problem at the end of the game. He had the unfortunate turnover, but he's played in big-time games. I think he'll bounce back without a problem mentally. He looks strong physically, and Melbourne United need him on the defensive end and to knock down some shots.
I'm with you. I think Melbourne win. Jack Hebron.
Thank you very much, Case. Cannot wait for this one. And I know we said this in Game 2 that the atmosphere inside MyState Bank Arena was crazy. I didn't think it could go up another level. This is Game 4. And is it the last game of the NBL24 season? Crawford, Drimmick, McVeigh, Krislovic, Doyle out there for Tasmania. Luala-Chul Jr., Dellavedova, Travers, Golding and Illy for Melbourne United. And Dellavedova attracting the boost straight away.
Not sure why. Outstanding game he had in Game 3, but he plays with a lot of class.
This Doyle swings to Krislovic into the starting lineup to do exactly that. Offensive rebound by Jack McVeigh, who had 12 of those, a career high on Sunday. Listen to that.
What a roar, Andrew. You can see Jack McVeigh extremely confident now as Travers goes right back to the bucket.
And that's what you're going to see a lot of. We've seen a heavy diet of that right throughout this series. They want to get to the rim. And Jack McVeigh gets the thing underway. only shooting it at 36%, but a whopping 63% from the three in the series.
7 of 11 from outside. Crawford with a little floater. It was game 2, Ruck, last Friday, I should say, where Jordan Crawford caught fire with 13 points in quarter number 1.
And I thought he showed a lot of character, Andrew, in game 3. Played well in the fourth quarter. But that's the vulnerability right there. Melbourne United feel like they can attack him. He's going to have to do a better job defensively if he wants to stay on the court.
Wide open Krislovic. He's had 2 looks. Both have been offensive rebounds to McVeigh. And both times, although they've been misses, Luala-Tool has given him space.
It's like they're prepared to concede him from there. He is a little inconsistent from there, but he can stroke it. He is a legitimate threat, but they've dared him the first 2, and he's 0 for 2.
Off the inbound. His confidence is sky high right now.
And we saw it start to happen at the end of game 2 here, Andrew. I've noted that he was playing with a bit more bounce.
Shea Ili from the corner. Shooting at 50% from outside for the series, but doesn't get that one to go. Back up top to Crawford. Up past Dellavedova and lays it up. That's an 8-2 lead early for the JackJumpers.
And they've got Dean Vickerman thinking early. He was thinking about the early TO, Andrew. He's right in front of us. Big possession right here for United.
And who do you go to when you need a bucket?
Simple play. Stagger away. You're trying to lock and trail, but if you get a little bit of separation, you're going to need some help from one of those screeners.
13 from 27 from outside for the series, Chris Golding. That was his first of the night. Trimic tries to hurt him at the other end.
Andrew, I'd like to see them run something again for Golding. They've got it set up. They've got it set up.
Same play. Not the same result.
Good execution. Keep going to it.
And Crawford pulls up in transition.
Wow, miss.
And eventually, Melbourne get the foul that they were looking for. Hot start.
Now, they did a really good job of getting CG43 2 nice looks. And we've got an early substitution. Haporti will come in for JLA.
That's really early.
Well, I was about to say I thought he should have got a touch this possession, but obviously that's not going to happen.
I remember in the last quarter, they went to some high-low action, and they really got into Luala-Tool right in front, but there's a nice play. Oh, he's missed the simplest of alley-oop, wide open hook 40, but powering him down low against a small lineup.
Here's Krislovic. Can't hit it third time. 0 of 3. Dean Vickerman screaming at Travis to push the issue. And Golding after the handoff. Shot clock at 9, gets inside. Knocked away from Haporti.
Drew, the nerves have got the Haporti's hands at the moment.
Yeah, well, that was the action. That post up right in front of the rim. It's got a big size advantage. Oh, yeah.
And I've been amazed at Tasmania's desire to just keep pushing tempo at Melbourne United, not blinking at all.
Boy, turnover from Ili. Been a sloppy start from Melbourne, uncharacteristic. Ian Clark about to check into the game. And Crawford. Got Haporti up in the air. And the next star blocked the shot.
Yeah, a lot of random plays, isn't it? From both the teams, we see mass substitutions coming in for Melbourne United. Travis goes out, Shea Ili goes out. But both of these teams so far have just been read and react, not a whole lot of sophistication in what they're doing in the half court.
Doyle gets inside, blocked. Great D from Clark, shot clock expires.
Now, I do like the JackJumpers' energy and their commitment right now on the offensive end. However, they've got to convert. They're getting some good looks at it. in particular, Krislovic got some great looks at it.
0 of 6 from outside ruck to start the game, Tasmania. They shoot it at 37% across the season, 42% in this grand final series. Clark, with all class, crosses over McVeigh and drains the three. Melbourne, on the other hand, 2 of 4, have been a little more selective with their outside looks. So far, so good. McVeigh, head down, left hand, has 6 points.
And Andrew, I don't know about you, but I just don't like that matchup when Bowen has to guard McVeigh. Yeah.
Well, extended minutes, Kyle Bowen, in game 3. Had to turn to him late when Tasmania went small.
Well, this lineup, the JackJumpers have got on. They can switch 1 through 4, and they really don't lose anything with any of that switching.
Jimmy and Magnay got a little confused. As the JackJumpers by 2. Inside 4 minutes left in this first quarter. Clark with space. That three is no good. Offensive rebound, Hook Porty, who almost travelled. Shot clock at 7. And not for the first time this series. Bowen throws up an air ball.
Andrew, I know you're going to agree with this, but I just don't like the lack of focus and direction in the Melbourne United offense. They ran 2 really good possessions where they got Chris Golding good looks, and ever since then it's been a bit scatty.
It has, and give the JackJumpers a decent chunk of credit for it, because the way in which they're defending, blowing up some of their actions, and like you mentioned earlier, a couple of good opportunities they weren't able to capitalise on, but not a whole lot better for the JackJumpers either. They're 5 of 14.
McVeigh likes the look of this Bowen matchup. He likes it a whole lot.
Sorry, Jack, but it's just not a good matchup for Melbourne United. I prefer Tanner Krebs on McVeigh as opposed to Kyle Bowen.
And this is just an ISO. There's nothing here. Just come down, throw it to Jack McVeigh and attack Bowen. And I like the substitution because it hasn't looked good with on the defensive end. Travers coming straight back in, and he is in some sort of zone.
Well, you've got a guy increasing in confidence in Jack McVeigh. There's no room for Melbourne United to mess around right now. You've got to get your best defender on him and keep him on him as much as possible. Otherwise, Drewy, somebody's going to be hoisting a trophy up in here.
Listen to the roar from Majuk Deng.
Comes in as we expected, relatively early for him.
Jack McVeigh was the game changer, the moment maker in game 3. Majuk Deng was the game changer. 15 points. And Marcus Lee going off provided him with all the opportunity that he needed. And his first action's a good one.
And Milton Boyle just doing everything he possibly could. He had to fight over and back across 3 separate screens, and the effort and determination that he had to do that, get some help when Clark gets to the rim. That's the rim protection that we've been talking about with the way in which Melbourne United, they put so much pressure on the defense, getting 2 feet in the paint and trying to get on the rim.
2.1 seconds on the shot clock for Melbourne.
There's Doyle, like I said, trying to fight so hard. That time he holds on, trying to fight over the top of the screen. He gets called for the foul.
Out there and he runs through it. It's normal foul, the normal triangle.
See here, he just... Oh, there's the foul, and Majuk Deng it was maybe. I got that wrong.
Unless Draymondy.
No, that's
no.
Draymond went to...
Oh, okay.
He went 7 or 8 levels higher than that.
Andrew, right now, if you're doing an energy check on both teams, I think you'd have to be more pleased with what Tasmania are bringing out. Oh, unlucky right there as McDonald would be called on the foul. But oftentimes, as we've discussed throughout the season and in this championship series, the home crowd can come out tense and it reflects in the playing group. But that is not the case here.
No, there was just a miscommunication. And you see a whole lot of contact on that push by McDonald, but I like the way he had a wry smile and he just gets on with business.
JackJumpers lead it by 5. Illy, baseline scores.
Well, Andrew, Tasmania have done a good job throughout the series of taking away the lob action off the middle cylinder pick and roll. And you see how Magne stays in front of JLA. That's going to put more pressure on Deli and Illy to finish like that.
Yeah, it is. And they're trying to get to their Spain action where there's a screen and a step back, but Illy just saw a window and they're not able to come up with the defensive board off a free throw.
United ball from the baseline. Walchel Jr., Krebs, Clark, Travers, Illy out there for Melbourne. Deng, McDonald, Magne, Doyle, and the captain, Clint Steindl for Tasmania. Walchel Jr. cleans up the scraps. We've got a 1-point game.
He really needed to see that ball go through the bucket. He's driven by his offensive game, Andrew. And
nice finish from Sean McDonald. His first points of the night.
Well, Sean McDonald got a lot of those looks in game 3. He didn't connect on them all. He's only 4 of 13, but it'd be a concern that if he gets this same type of supply. Now,
that's a foul.
A hint of an offensive foul and gets the roll. But more concerning is the ease at which he can get into the paint.
Well, remember in game 2 how they were able to isolate JLA in the middle on the on-balls because of the depth of his drop. And it looked like that was more of the case right there again. Again, Tasmania need to continue to exploit it.
And Krebs comes out, just going back in. Walchel Jr. Shot clock at 7. Golding with a hand in the face. Rebound by Milton Doyle. McDonald steps back. JackJumpers with their first 3 of the night.
Like you've been saying, Derek, throughout a lot of the season, those types of shots you don't see quite as much with the JackJumpers with their system, but their willingness to come down and just take the early shot. And Clark tidying up some of his work on the O boards.
He's been valuable with his 5 points.
2 more for Tasmania, this time Magne. And again, they're able to get into the paint and get what they want. Illy playing for a foul, no whistle. JackJumpers lead by 6. Doyle from long range, it rattles out. And Majuk Deng picking up his second foul. And a couple of cheap ones there, which is not part of the plan for Scott Roth with no Marcus Lee for the rest of the series.
Well, also the fact they're in the bonus, so they've been relentless on the defensive end, the JackJumpers, and now Melbourne United get to walk down the other end of the floor and go to the free throw line. And Majuk Deng comes out, Jack McVeigh comes back in.
It is a really interesting lineup for Tasmania. You've got Clint Steindl out there, who's a sharpshooter. It's a great time to go to a lot of spread on ball.
Well, they've got 4 guys outside of McVeigh that can shoot the 3 ball.
You hungry, Drew?
You like some burgers? You think they're coming?
My State Bank Arena sounds hungry. They'll just have to wait. Magnay at the top of the key. Hasn't really been a factor in this series so far. Steiner with room. 0-6 now for the grand final series.
Such a good big game shooter, too.
Magnay blocks Travis. He took it into the lane and Travis went up with him.
Just a rare commodity at the rim defensively, Andrew. He's got strength, athleticism, timing, and discipline.
And that's Will Magnay's first block of this grand final series as well. One of the league's leading shot blockers. And the tip-in counts. And the last play of the first quarter will be with the JackJumpers. Clock down to 3. McDonald threw up the floater. It's a 3-point lead to the home team at quarter time. The most hostile of environments you could possibly imagine. Tasmania 20, Melbourne 17. It's game 4 of the championship series in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Great to have your company for Game 4 of the Championship Series around the world, Tasmania and Melbourne. Quarter time at MyState Bank Arena. It's the JackJumpers who lead 20-17. Jack McVeigh picking up his heroics from Game 3. Has 9 points in the opening quarter on 4 of 5 for Melbourne United. Luke Travers and Ian Clark with 5 apiece. Derek Rucker, Andrew Gase.
I thought it was a good start for the JackJumpers. They came out, they've restricted Melbourne United on the offensive end and created plenty of good opportunities on the offensive end.
Why not go to McVeigh, as we mentioned? Already has 9. Gets to that spot once more.
He makes it look so easy. He's got great strength and he's quirky with what he can do around the rim, but that was pretty straightforward. They could do a better job of making him catch it a little wider. Melbourne United, and Matthew Dellavedova, he was 0 of 2 in this one, and you've got to think of where's the offense going to come from Melbourne United.
And that's the opposite to what we've been thinking throughout the series so far.
Well, that's right, and right now, given what we saw in Game 3, he's 9 of 18 from the field, so he was aggressive on the offensive end. He knocked down some big shots. But if you're not going to get it from your usual sources, and they miss another free throw. you're not going to get the output from your normal sources like Joe Lawala, Trul, and Travers is not going to be featuring him, then it's going to, a lot of it's going to fall on Illy and Dellavedova to create some offense.
John Casey, you were listening in at quarter time.
Listening with Dean Bickerman and Melbourne United, very happy with the way things transpired in that opening quarter, despite the fact that Tasmania led exclusively, but they kept the JackJumpers to just 1-3, and Jack McVeigh just continues to dominate here, and he loved the fact that they out-rebounded the JackJumpers 16-13 and 8-4 at the offensive rebound count, as I send it over now to Joe Healy.
Yeah, thanks. Well, we know the JackJumpers said pre-game that defensive pressure and rebounding are the keys to this matchup. The message at quarter time there was to box out and keep building a wall in transition. Offensively, they are conscious. They want to play this game at their pace. They've done that for the most part, and they want to maintain that this quarter.
Well, Melbourne United are going to find a way to solve the Jack McVeigh problem.
Yeah.
He's 6 of 7, he's 13 points, and they've got to do what they're trying to do down the other end. What the JackJumpers are doing down the other end is get the ball out of his hands. Prevention's better than cure. Don't wait till he gets it.
Big knockdown from Travers. Hit a couple of those in game 3 on Sunday.
Much improved shooter. Needs to be more assertive with seeking shots. But also, Andrew, Sean McDonald's doing an outstanding job defensively. He misses one there. He's doing a great job on this end of defending Chris Golding and not letting him get to his spots and being physical away from the ball.
It's fine. Lawala Chul Jr. underneath, and it's a 1-point game. A couple of more functional offensive sets in a row from Melbourne. They aren't at their high-scoring and free-flowing best so far, no doubt about that. Steindel's shooting woes continue in this series. Illy to take the lead. He's unsuccessful. Melbourne 3 of 9 from outside. Melbourne, Tasmania, I should say, 1 of 10 for the evening so far. Crawford got in front of Golding, blocked by Travers. Magno scraps after that loose ball with Dellavedova, as usual, on the floor.
This has been super intense, and the defense is making it really tough, but we have seen some very unusual shot selection, and that is one of them. And then just a fumble, and they're diving on it. Delly gets in there, as he always does. You'll always find him at the bottom of most packs.
Timeout, 24-23. 7:45 remaining in this second quarter. Get back to you in just a moment, Derek Rucker, because my understanding is that John Casey's got a couple of very special guests alongside him.
Thanks very much, Jack. Yes, I have here. I've got Pete and Jenny McVeigh. And who's this one, Jenny?
This is Lloyd McVeigh. He's playing in New York State City. He's Lloyd's greatest brother. The big brother came from Chicago to come and watch, so he's down there. We're all here to support Jack and the JackJumpers.
And he's doing pretty well at the moment. What'd you make of that shot he made on Sunday?
Oh my gosh, that shot was amazing, but we knew he could do it.
Now, you played junior basketball, and Jack told me you taught him everything he knows.
Well, yes, I coached Jack for many years, and the greatest thing about Jack is he always wanted to know what could he do better.
Exactly. And
he never wanted to know what he did well. Always
well, how about that? That was the mindset, Pete. He did give you a shout-out as well. Said you were the king of the free throws.
We were at home. We've got a half court at home, and we used to play on the rack. And like to beat Jack on the rack, you never wanted to be after Jack because he'll knock you out straight away.
What does this mean for you and the family to see Jack doing this now?
Oh, we're just over the moon. Like to be able to come down here and be part of the JackJumpers, you know, club and everything. It's just like, it's like home. You know, we're thinking of moving here ourselves.
Best of luck, and thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.
You can see why Jack McVeigh is such a wonderful person. Comes from good stock. They'd be proud of their boy, who's playing well tonight. Melbourne have scored the last 6 and now lead the game.
Key opening to this second quarter, Andrew. They've taken the lead and got some offense going and some good looks for JLA.
He's now got 6 points. The JackJumpers with something to think about. They go back to Krislovic. He fumbles inside, and body language changing significantly between these two teams. Dellavedova assessing his options. Has Travis, rolls to the basket. They're having a good couple of minutes, the visitors.
Oh, word they are. And a lot of it's coming off that on-ball screen. They hard show for the high-low. That time there, they go a little deeper, and the roll-off pass is wide open. See, that time they're not hard showing, and there's a switch, and when you don't go underneath on the switch, you're going to need that third-man help. Krislovic there a little late, and a couple of easy scoring opportunities.
9 unanswered points, Ruck.
And Matthew Dellavedova doing an outstanding job of distributing the ball. They're still going to, at some point, need him to knock down some shots from the perimeter, Andrew. But this is a championship-type bounce back right here in this quarter. They've cranked up the defense. JackJumpers only got 4 points in the first 3 minutes of this quarter.
The interesting stat to come out of this series so far is Matthew Dellavedova. Melbourne are 1-4 when Delly has 20 or more. So to your point, when he's distributing rather than being the primary scorer, Melbourne are winning. When the roles are reversed, they're not.
And that's probably because, you know, his assist totals were up this season. He did a great job of getting the ball to his scorers, primarily JLA and Chris Golding. And generally, when those guys are cooking, Andrew, they do it at high efficiency levels.
Yeah, it is, and sometimes those statistics can be a little misleading, but because there are times when Delly's being required. Scoring has been down, and he's taken upon himself to try and fill a void.
I think we can read between the lines there that Drew didn't like that.
No,
draw a line through that one.
No. It's not completely irrelevant, not by any stretch.
Fumble by Lawala-Chul Jr. 6:34 remaining.
And Andrew, Scott Roth is going to have to make a decision with Magne. How long can you leave him on the bench? He doesn't have any foul trouble. But Melbourne United are significantly more confident when he's not in the game.
Crawford, who's the man who had the inbound duties, relocates to the corner and hits the three. Ties it up at 27 and breaks a run of 9 unanswered points for Melbourne. Not that time for Travis. Crawford can see a part to the basket. And that'll count.
Well, we don't have a great angle, Andrew, but we do have great intuition.
Well, it's close. I think it was the right call. My gut says it was the right call. My gut might be wrong.
I tried to leave
still hard to tell,
it.
even on that shot. And there we see the one for Crawford. You can't leave him that wide open.
He's up to 9 points, Jordan Crawford. Playing a valuable role for the JackJumpers once more.
Oh, yeah.
Golding whistle for the foul. I can't see him in front of you.
We saw in the action, what they were trying to do was push and not allow him to get to the middle, and because of that, Joe Lawala-Chul was on the baseline side. And when you're using that strategy and you don't send him to the baseline, there's not as much help coming to the middle.
Travers out, Lawala-Chul Jr. out, which means that Bowen and Hook Porty are on the floor together right now. In the first quarter, this didn't work for them.
Certainly didn't. And Magne is back in the game. I feel this is a real chance for Tasmania to get going again.
He can do no wrong.
He showed it to him, Andrew.
And he bit on it. The big fella bit on it.
He not only bit on it, he swallowed it. Oh, he tried to line it.
He couldn't stuff it. Crawford drives and doesn't go. Momentum with the JackJumpers right now. They lead it by 4. Dellavedova threw it away. Golding calls for the foul. The swings and roundabouts of a championship series on the Harvey Norman replay.
This is just what happened when you got a guy on fire. You've seen him. Hook Porty's been on the bench, seen him destroy their opponents around the rim, so you can understand why he was wanting to contest that shot. And Chris Golding gets called for the foul, and I like the way he just moved on. It's his second, just moved on, no complaints.
Crawford's getting good looks. That one doesn't go. McVeigh.
Oh, no.
Now he's banking them home.
If you're a Melbourne United fan, you start to think that fate is not on your side when McVeigh is now banking them in.
Maybe a little bit early for that call, but I do know something. Jack McTray is absolutely on fire. 8 of 10 from the field, 18 big points. Tasmania up 7.
I said he can do no wrong. That's to another level.
Wow.
There's not a bank in Tasmania open on a Thursday night. They'll open every one of them and let Jack have as much as he wants if he keeps shooting like that.
I'm pretty sure he didn't call it.
Let's jump into the Melbourne United camp.
So we're ready for the flip. Staying connected on that. Hey, we make a miss. That's your scramble rebound right there. You got to go get that one. Since the last time out, there have been 2 3-balls, one off a penetration, one off an O-board. All right, no more for this little period right now. We're going double drag away. 4-man first. All right, come off this. Go ahead, bring IC off right now. You read your coverage. If it's in a mush, you go away. If it's in a show, you're diving. Here we go.
So Melbourne scored 9 in a row. Timeout. Tasmania have scored the last 10 of the game.
Yeah, it's been a good run for the JackJumpers. Chris Golding, he sits out, gets a quick rest. I'm sure it's not going to be out of the game for too long. But I've been super impressed with the JackJumpers defense. They've been relentless on the defensive end. Sure, they've had a couple of breakdowns, but just in full attack mode on the defensive end.
2-1 series leaders. A win tonight, and Tasmania can seal it on their home court. Long way to go in the game. Illy comes up short.
And another example of the defense that we've seen.
But Andrew, you like to talk about context a lot. And given the context of this series, the one person Melbourne United could not allow to get off in the first half was Jack McVeigh. And now everyone in this building is feeling it.
And he's feeling it too. He's knocked out of his hands. Good D from Melbourne. They've had all sorts of trouble stopping him. Bowen had to pull up the handbrake. Dellavedova knocks down the 3.
Big hit.
And it's back to 4, Joe Healy. We'll get back to Joe in a moment. No foul call. Good D from Milton Doyle. And Vaughan Mabry explains it to Dean Vickerman and says he did nothing wrong.
Again, Andrew, you notice the reaction of the Melbourne United players. I think Doyle is just there.
Yeah.
It's not a charge.
Yeah, I think that was the correct call.
Michael Ayler, Mitch Hare, Vaughan Mabry, our 3 senior officials again this evening. And Magnay, only 2 points to his name. He's fouled. And he'll get to the line to shoot free throws. Hook Porty picking up his first foul. Just seem to be one step ahead right now, Tasmania.
That's very well stated. And to try and get back up to speed, so to speak, JLA and Chris Golding will come
back into this game.
Don't forget, of course, for the Harlem Globetrotters, going to a city near you this year. If you haven't already scanned the QR code, we have been telling you to do it for a long time. Do it tonight.
And the crowd elated to see Magne knock that first free throw down.
Wow. Just 37% from the free throw line this series, Will Magne.
Ouch.
I think he was more elated than anyone, but they both went down. Tasmania lead by 6. Make that 4. Ian Clark up to 7 points. Luke Travers at the scorer's table. When he's set to check back in. Doyle still scoreless. It's hard work out there for him at the moment. Clark past McVeigh and cuts it back to 2.
High-level skill set, Andrew.
The body control. Able to get to the rim.
That's a tough break. Melbourne United again, not doing a good job on those ball screens. No one was to be found as Crawford raised up for that jumper.
Not sure they're giving Crawford the respect that they should. It's been wide open a couple of times. We heard in that last time out, Dean Vickerman mentioning Jordan Crawford and the way in which he was able to get that first one to fall. This one's just an on-ball screen, and there's Joe Lowell-Achul Jr. That is too deep for my liking. Now, I know he's concerned about him going around him.
For my liking, too, just for clarification.
but that's a scorer. That's what he's been recruited to do, and that's what he's shown he can do.
Going short.
Mismatch in the paint.
That's where they head. Down to Magne. Here's McVeigh. Not that time.
I think they've got to find a way to get Joe Lowell-Achul more active on the offensive end. Get him some touches. That'll help motivate him a lot more down the other end as well.
Chris Golding now has 5 points.
And I suppose for Melbourne United, with all the talent and the explosiveness they have, this 3-point deficit is nothing to them. They just got to continue to progress with the quality of their play throughout this game.
Fallon Dellavedova. His first of the night.
4th team foul for Melbourne United. This has, to my eye, been a really well officiated first half.
I thought they were pretty good in game 3 too. These aren't easy to try and officiate.
Tough games.
Yeah. Crawford steps out of bounds.
And I thought he had him. He should have just pushed that ball into the paint off the left hand. Again, Kelly's got no equity with the Tasmanian crowd.
You need to tell me why, though, D.
This is some sort of push here from Ian Clark. That's 11 points.
And he's walked back with the too small signal as well.
Well, he's not lying.
No, he's not.
I'd say Crawford's caught that once or twice in his lifetime. Lowell-Achul Jr. under the basket. He's fouled. Points will count. Melbourne back in front.
And Andrew, when we discussed the ins and outs of this game as we get a timeout from Tasmania, this is the type of resolve we talk about. Even though they're not playing great, they just have enough talent and experience to know how to hang around.
Well, they are. And Joe Lowell-Achul Jr., one of the elite runners in the offensive transition, makes the most of it, and good find.
The runs in this game, so as we mentioned, Melbourne went on a 9-0 run. Tasmania went on a 10-0 run. And as it stands with free throws to come, they've scored the last 7. Now Melbourne United, there's Larry Kesselman.
And Jack Cowan.
Bank Arena, Jack Cowan, of course, the king of Hungry Jacks in this country.
Dave Stevenson. How much importance do you want to get in one frame,
Not
Jack?
sure how they got a ticket because, well, I can for Jack Cowan. There's Brendan Favola, mad Melbourne United supporter. flew down into enemy territory last Friday, and he's here again. Have you got your own mural, Ruck, in Brisbane somewhere?
I do not, Jack. I think that question is better posited to the gentleman to my left, Andrew Gaze. How many do you have?
Well,
just say how many you got.
No, that's
brag.
No, but I know they did one
in St Kilda and the one in
No. There was one with myself with a whole bunch of other Australian basketball players that was on at Marble Stadium. I remember seeing that one and honoured to be part of that. But that's a very nice mural they put together, Jack McVeigh, and he gets this win. They might see something of the bronze variety.
Yeah,
but
something a bit more permanent.
Yes.
In 3 dimensions.
Saw Tim Payne sitting in the crowd as well. Former Australian Test captain. 2-point lead to Melbourne. Ebbs and flows of this championship series. It's been that way since the first quarter of game 1. Tasmania turnover, another one.
Well, that last time out, we weren't in it with Scott Roth, but clearly they were trying to get Doyle involved. He hasn't had a good time of it on the offensive end, 0 of 3. And it's not just the fact that it's the 0, it's the 3. Not a lot of opportunities for him.
Work from McDonald. Knocked that out of the hands of Luala-Chul Jr. Doyle still searching for his first points. Here's Drimic into the lane. Little handoff for Magnate. Shot clock down to 9. That's not what Scott Roth would have been looking for.
Now hold it for the last shot of the half, Melbourne United.
10 seconds remaining. Dellavedova pumps that ball inside. Travis draws contact with 2.4 seconds left.
And then these final 3 minutes of this second quarter, Andrew, Dudley's done a really good job at directing the offense. He's settled them down and given them some sensibility. And now they've worked their way into this game with a chance to go into halftime.
Yeah.
Seemingly not playing better.
No, that's right. And it's simple flex cut. Just a little bit of action. Gets Luke Travers to the free throw line.
Dean Vickerman kneeling in front of us. Said, any danger we can make a free throw?
3 of 7.
Yeah, 43%. And we're going to eat.
Wow. Burgers at halftime. Courtesy of Luke Travers. Code word is crush. Dean Vickerman just about crushed the table in front of us on the way out. 41-39 at halftime. Melbourne United leading over the JackJumpers. And let's get over to Joe Healy.
Yeah, thanks. I've got Jack McVeigh with me. You've been trying to push the tempo. There have been a couple of runs of points from both sides. How's that first half felt for you?
No, that's bad. Do not push tempo. We're talking shot selection down there, and we've got to be better.
What is going to be the main message from Scott Roth in the locker room?
Controlling the pace, and then O-boards. We've given up too many to win this game.
Good luck for the second. Case, over to you.
Thanks, Joe. I've got Ian Clark with me here at the moment. Great first half, Ian. You're up and down with them. It's a good contest.
No, we know it's going to be a tough game. You know, obviously, you know, we're at home. We know how hostile this crowd is. So we're just trying to stay together and put one quarter in front of another.
You were here 2 years ago playing in a grand final series. Is there similarities with this one?
Other than the crowd being loud, it's different teams. You know, obviously I'm with a different team as well, so that's what I'm focused on right now.
Great battle between you and Jordan Crawford. Was that the two small I saw out there?
I'm just playing basketball, trying to get a win.
All right, good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
2 points between these teams at halftime. Melbourne 41, Tasmania 39. Stick around, Felix is in for the halftime show. Up next in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Right, I say back arena, all thanks to our friends at Spirit of Tasmania. We have a very special performance. Leah, introduce our friends for us, please.
Tasmania, give it up for the Southside Steppers!
Well, Melbourne United fighting and clawing their way back to keep this series alive. Of course, Tasmania with the 2-1 lead. The JackJumpers looking to close it out here and win the championship on their own court right now. And the JackJumpers currently getting a taste of their own medicine with the time in front. Of course, Melbourne United have dominated the series, 77% of the time in front. Today, up to half-time, Melbourne United only 2 minutes in front. They're doing it the hard way, but they're doing it the right way.
Oh, they certainly are, and it's been a high-quality game. Really intense on the defensive end, and both teams trying to find a formula, to find a consistent pattern on the offensive end. But as the stats show, it is so very evenly balanced, and the free throws, they can come back to haunt you. 3 of 8 for Melbourne United, but outside of that, it's pretty even, and the rebound count has proven to be vital. Everyone that's won the rebound count has won the game, and that advantage goes to Melbourne United in the first half.
And let's look at the Hungry Jack highlights. And the highlights for Tasmania in the first half was all about Jack McVeigh. Building off of that miraculous shot in Game 3, he's come out in this first half, and he's just been dominant. He's 8 of 11 from the field. He's got 18 points, and he's making all types of shots. But Tasmania need to find somebody to go with them. Who is going to provide the second tier, third tier level of support scoring the basketball?
It is Jack McVeigh's world ever since he hit that shot, and he is picking up where he left off. As we have a look at the Blackmore shot chart, he's doing it from the inside and the outside a couple of times, just getting Luke Travers' number and going one-on-one and getting the better of him down low.
Yeah, he was strong on the box. They weren't sending a double team early on, and he made them pay with some relatively easy ones to get himself going early on, and then things flowed out of it from there. Very crafty around the rim, only 1 of 4. He's been lights out from the three-point line and had a couple of good looks that didn't go for him in that first half. But Derek's right, he needs some support. Jordan Crawford supplied it in that first half with the 12 points, but he needs some, and they need to find a way to get Milton Doyle involved on the offensive end.
Well, there's ever a time for Jordan Crawford to find his feet in this series, it's tonight, and help him get that win and secure that championship. And for United, it's Luke Travers, who's been a standard setter throughout this entire series. He's looking to do the same tonight.
Well, we know what type of defender he is, but tonight he's actually doing a really good job on the offensive end. He's got 10 points. He's knocked down a 3-ball, but I've got to see him be more assertive. Get that ball, attack closeouts, get on the offensive glass, and of course, help your coach out and knock down your free throws.
Yeah, he's been aggressive, 4 of 9 from the field, only 1 of 4 from the free throw line. And he and Shea Illy's been aggressive without being able to put points on the board, 1 of 7. But Travis, he knocked down the 3-ball. He's got that in his repertoire, and around the rim, he's been able to finish and work his way to the free throw line.
If you're Melbourne United right now, you go in with the lead. What do you have to do to stem the flow of Tassie's offense?
We've got to get JLA more involved offensively. I just want to see his spirits lifted, Andrew. It looks like he's distracted. It looks like he's playing with a lot of consternation and frustration, and he doesn't seem to be playing with that fluidity that we normally see him perform with.
Oh, my word. And we saw some actions that looked really strong, but their ability to go back to it. But he's in the transition very, very quick up and down. So if they can get more actions like that, and of course you've got to rebound the ball and in order for that to happen. But yeah, I agree, get him going and it becomes a whole lot tougher for the JackJumpers.
A 2-point lead at the half to Melbourne United. The second half coming up next.
I didn't listen to the question, but I have one word for you. That word is march. 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 Do it then. March. 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 Get behind it. March. 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 Hey, we're worried about our job next year. Guys, that back around and give it up for Luca Brasi. Tyler Richardson, the man behind the mark. Let's go. Second half coming up soon. Tasmania, the words are up on your screen. We want to hear you give it all you've got.
Half-time in Game 4 of the Championship Series here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Happy Easter. I guess it starts now, doesn't it, around the country. Tasmania and Melbourne locked away in this battle, 41-39. And it's been a battle so far. Let's get over to John Casey courtside.
Jack, I've got Jacob Chance, assistant coach, Melbourne United, with me at the moment. Real arm wrestle. How are you reading this game?
Oh, it's an arm wrestle. It's been a dogfight the whole series. Teams are making adjustments. Yeah, it's going to come down to little stuff here in the second half. Who can come up with the ball and get the more possessions?
You had 8 O-boards in the first quarter and none in the second. How does that happen?
Yeah, I thought our predictability of our shot actually got a little bit better, just moving on the fly of the ball, but they were getting out quick in the first quarter, so maybe a little bit more conservative from us.
Appreciate your time.
No.
Over to you, Joe.
Yeah, thanks, Case. I've got Mark Radford with me. Mark, what was the main message at halftime?
Yeah, we sort of had to deal a little bit with their pick and roll play, become a problem there at the end of the second quarter, and then Clark started to really get going, so we've got to get him under control. He's very aggressive. Then on the other end, we're going to keep playing through Jack McVeigh, who's been excellent for us.
He has been excellent. How do you get Milton Doyle involved a little bit more?
Yeah, he sort of just played a role. It's been Jack, but he'll come to life. There's no worry about that. You've got a job to do at the defensive end as well.
Let's hope so. Good luck for the second half.
Thank you.
Just about ready to go for the start of the third quarter. Ian Clark's name came up there with Mark Radford. 6 points in that second quarter. He looks like he started to get into his groove.
He definitely is, and those points were big, Drewy. Otherwise, Melbourne United were really in an offensive hole. But I feel like they've got to run some sets for Chris Golding and let him be a playmaker out of it. It doesn't have to be so terminal where he winds up launching a three-point shot. He can get a guy out of position defensively and attack.
Here is Chris Golding. He's had Anthony Drimmick chasing him around for the entire series. He's 5 points on 2 of 5. Will Magnay out there to start the third quarter? It's a 2-point game. Tasmania 1 win away from being NBL champions. If it's Melbourne United successful, we go to Game 5 on Sunday afternoon, back at John Cain Arena. Crawford was run off the line. Had the shot change. Good D from Awalachul Jr.
Great defense from Melbourne United across the board. They switched, they were able to rotate out of it and help each other out. Good start on the defensive end.
They've won their last 6 games at home, the JackJumpers. You can understand why. This is one hell of an atmosphere. Awalachul Jr. now has 9 points, make that 11 on 5 of 5 from the field. Doyle for Magnay. Now call on Awalachul Jr. Dean Vickerman just asking for clarification on what the call is.
I thought it was a good call. He wound up getting underneath Magnay. And nice offense both ways on the Melbourne United end. You saw them get in a 2-man game with JLA and Golding.
Magnay trying to do too much with that dunk. It was just had to guide it in and wanted to catch it and stuff it home. And unlike Melbourne United, Magnay is now 3 of 3. Make that 4 of 4. Defying the stats.
But as we've discussed, the stroke is good. Got a few mechanics and timing issues, but overall the ball flies well, it rotates well.
Been -10 in the series, Will Magnay, averaged plus 9.4 a game across the regular season. Really left that short. Crawford ripped it out of the hands of Awalachul Jr. Doyle still scoreless, 0 of 3 from the field. Make that 0 of 4. Dellavedova, not from that. A little nervous start for both teams this third quarter. We've been going a couple of minutes. Doyle takes it inside, and now he's on the ball.
Beautiful use of the body. Went into the body of Joe Awalachul Jr. to create that separation, and just the hesitation and hang time. Beautiful play.
Billy's long in his attempt.
Looks like he's pushing a little too much on the offensive end. Shea Illy, 1 of 9.
Now we've seen them get to this setup several times. This sideline pick and roll where they have to, they pull JLA up, even though he wants to stay down depth-wise. This is the previous play. Good contact, good defense also.
Clark coming back in, and coming in from Matthew Dellavedova.
You download the NBL app now. It's not too late in the season. It's got everything that you need. Breaking news, stats, different shows. NBL Now, which is a pretty good podcast. The Wednesday edition's not a bad one. Sometimes, Ruck.
Andrew has no idea what you're talking about.
Quality stuff that you guys put together.
Oh.
High quality.
How would you download a podcast, Drew?
You go to Spotify and download it.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you.
And Tassie have done a good job in these first couple of minutes coming out of the break, because things were looking dicey there going into halftime. Reasserted themselves nicely.
Porting, Clark, Travis. Going Illy out there. McVeigh, steal, layup, timeout Melbourne. Jack McVeigh enhancing his reputation after Sunday.
Well, they talk about the little things going to make a big difference, and these are the types of turnovers you can't have. Just the catch, the fumble, not a perfect pass, but Travis needs to be able to handle it. And that's just beautiful play by McVeigh. He knows he's got a shot blocker coming from behind. And again, the use of the body to create this separation and kiss it off the glass.
Melbourne have led for 77% of this series, Ruck. But that, while we're in the habit of Andrew Gay's knocking all of our stats out tonight.
No, not knocking, just
what does it mean in the context of the series?
Well, right now it's meaning nothing, because in this game, the most important game, Tasmania in the first half led for 16 minutes, and now they have taken command of this game again. I know it's only a 4-point game, Andrew. That's the hard data, but the soft feels a lot different. And if McVeigh gets going again, that margin for error, and you start playing against the clock, pressure mounts, and this crowd slowly starts to feel that championship.
Well, that's right, and I think the crowd is one of the reasons why when United are 4 points up, you don't feel like it's a big margin. But when the Jackies are 4 points up, you're thinking, oh, gee, this is some work they've got to do. And Jack McVeigh has been sensational, coming off that heroic performance with that game-winning shot. It can mess with your mind in a negative way as well. Come out here and try and do too much, but he's too smart and too controlled for that, and he has led the way for the Jackies yet again.
Tasmania have scored the last 8. They make a move in this third quarter. They lead by 4. Melbourne's turn to respond out of the timeout. Every time they need a score, they put it in the hands of Ian Clark.
He's so determined, and we know his skill level is high, and he's found his groove after 2 down games.
He's Melbourne's leading scorer now with 13. It's McVeigh with 20.
To me, it's hard when you've got shooters across the floor, but to me, he's doing enough that if he gets it in the paint, you can see Brendan Favola, if he gets it in that paint or that close, on that after that first dribble, I'm sending
somebody.
Sending a double team. Make someone else beat you, because right now he is beating you. 20 points and potentially 21 and 22 to come.
And the thing about him, Andrew, is an offensive player. He's got that element of awkwardness.
Yeah.
That is very hard to read.
I call it craftiness.
Okay.
Not the awkwardness is a little hard.
It makes it, no, I say it in a complimentary way. I love it. And it makes it really hard to read as a defender. Travers loses control, and now he's done his ankle.
Or his toe, I think.
It grabbed for the toe and the foot area as soon as he fell. He's going to come to the bench. John Casey will keep a pretty close eye on this one. Here's the replay. Did he stand on Jack McVeigh's foot?
Well, now we've got...
No, I just think he's just, when he pushed off it.
Yeah.
Something.
Now, Andrew, I said this collection of 4 guards for Melbourne United was the best collection in NBL history. They're all out on the floor right now. You rarely see this.
Clark draws the foul on Drimmick.
That might have been.
And they might have a look at this, Tasmania.
Looked like he was retreating from our angle, and that's what Drimmick. They said challenge it straight away. Oh yeah, they're going to win this challenge. Oh, there's barely any contact.
I wouldn't even bother taking it upstairs. We can save ourselves some time.
This will be the quickest.
Hey, while you guys are going through all that, I'm shocked, Andrew, that you've come out that early and actually taken a stance.
Well,
wow,
it's that
congratulations. Okay, is that what it takes?
When it's that obvious, I'm prepared to put it out there.
Oh. Okay.
Like, I didn't even see, maybe another angle might show something different, but I didn't even see any contact.
Drew, I've been certain about some challenges this season. That didn't, no, I'm not certain.
You're not certain that's going to be a...
Drew, I've had my heart broken by the replay center a few times this season.
Yeah, this has to be.
After review, the coach's challenge is unsuccessful. The call on the floor is confirmed. Foul on 3 green will remain. 2 shots, white 21.
Fool me once. I told you. Look at, yeah, exactly, Scott.
Creates contact, doesn't have LGP, tries to get out of the way, it's too late, puts him on the leg. Comes in, he doesn't have LGP, he gets close, tries to get out of the way, puts him on the leg.
The clipping of the leg, or maybe we missed something on the replay.
I think it was just that slight contact that they couldn't go away from. And when I say slight, I mean non-existent.
Well, they said it was with the leg, and maybe we were looking at the wrong thing.
Well, that's a big play right there because it allows Clark to keep his flow going. And Melbourne United cut this lead down to 2.
Looks like Jack McVeigh is for Tasmania. Ian Clark's becoming a big factor for Melbourne now. It's 15 points. Good Travis off the floor at the moment with what we suspect is a toe issue. Back down to the game 3 hero, Majuka.
Size. And he comes back with the too small.
Now, I'm not a fan of the too small, but...
That's because you're small.
He's right.
Another physical off the ball. This time it's going to be on McVeigh. Look at him. Now, that's a good, strong move. And there's the too small. I'm with you. I'm not a big fan of the too small. I think it had its time and it's run its race.
Too small wasn't around when you played rugby, but I feel like you would be on the end of 1 or 2 of those.
Pokemon yelling mouse in their house. That's what he used to call.
Less than 6 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Tasmania leading by 4. And they do not have a review available, Tasmania. There's Bullquall taking in the action tonight. He's informed Cairns that he won't be returning next season, so he becomes one of the hottest free agents available.
Andrew, that is clean. That is clean. And
well, I'm going to excuse Mark Radford, the coach that said challenge the other one, because when you only get a 1 quick view like we did, and we weren't able to come up with it, so it wasn't a bad challenge. I didn't think the first one, but you're right. When you're unsuccessful, you lose it.
And now you've got to try and navigate your way through this close game. And after all of that, there was a bit of a discussion, and referee Mitch Hare came in and said, again, I've had enough. Cool it. And the players have responded pretty well, especially Melbourne United in this game. They haven't been barking as much as at the referees as we saw in game 3.
Good news for Melbourne. Luke Travis getting set to check back in, so only a minor issue there. Crawford trying to get away from Ian Clark, eventually does. McVeigh, a little turnaround jumper.
Send a double. You're going to have to send a double. He's proven it too much. That time there wasn't even a stunt.
Well, strategically, Drew, I don't think they know where to send it from. Everybody on that floor can knock down the three.
Dellavedova can't score.
Stays with Melbourne United. Crawford was in there, but in the attempt to secure the ball.
So look at it, Drew.
But you're just getting beaten the same way. He's up to 24 points. He's 10 of 13. And you're right, it's a tough decision you've got to make, but you might as well try something else because right now
you're getting torched.
He's dominating on that box.
Golding for three. Makes it 1 point the difference.
He makes it look so easy. That is not an easy shot. Going away from the basket to gather your feet, get them underneath you, still have that type of release.
Second made three of the night. Crawford at the other end. Has 14 of his own.
They're having problems with this on-ball screen right in front of our position right here. They've been beaten like 5 times already in this half in that scenario.
One of the league's very best shooters
ever.
Knocking down 2 in a row when his team needed it. And Lualachul Jr. picks up his third.
Chris Goulding, have a look at, he's trailing him, and that is such a quick release. He even had some help from Crawford from the passer. And he did, that's just, if you're going to lock and trail, that's almost as good as you can do.
Textbook.
Because you're trailing because you're going over the top. You go underneath, he's going to destroy you.
But the greatness of Chris Goulding, and we've been in that shooting situation many times, is to not flinch and lose your form and go up with the strong confidence and knock down your shot, not worry about the shot being blocked. That's just elite skill.
And they made a change. They've now gone to Milton Doyle on Chris Goulding. As Grimmick gets a spell, McDonald comes back in and he's going to handle Clark, who's been the other one that's caused the JackJumpers all sorts of problems.
Only 10 minutes for Sean McDonald. Goulding trying to make it 3 in a row. That's a push-off. And that's 4 fouls on Lualachul Jr.
Yeah, if you've got 3 fouls, you can't be extending your arm. And he needs to be careful not to go out with a tech as well.
There have been times during this series where Joe Lualachul Jr. has looked as though he was going to take the game apart, but again, in this series, he finds himself sitting down with foul trouble.
And in his place will come Ariel Haporti, the next star. Big minutes, Andrew. He hasn't been as effective in this series as he was throughout the regular season. And JLA will spend an extended amount of time now on the bench.
One of the great stories of this season, Majuk Deng, and what he did in Game 3. He had 15 points, spent the second half of the season watching with a serious ankle injury. Came in when his team needed it, and he's playing a nice little cameo again tonight. 59-55 at MyState Bank Arena. Game 4 of the championship series. Goulding, not that time. The Haporti clears some space with a jam. First points of the night, Ariel Haporti. He's going to need to play some big minutes. Dellavedova called for the foul.
Melbourne United coaching staff.
They want to hurry up. See, this is where the Jackies have got to get to the line up and get to the next phase as quick as you can. Don't.
Tasmania without a review for the remainder of the game. Melbourne still have theirs in the holster.
Andrew.
And given he's missed that free throw, it turns out to be a good non-challenge, so you don't risk it.
And that's why I think sometimes the challenge isn't worth it anyway. Giving up usually 1, maybe 2 points. It's never always 2 points in a shooting situation.
Golden guarded by Doyle. That's as tough as it gets. Second chance opportunity for Melbourne. Clark inside for Hook Porty. He scores, and it's back to 1.
Coming in and giving them exactly what they needed in JLA's absence. Melbourne United continuing to make enough plays to stay in this game, stay connected.
United come down the floor to take the lead. It's Clark, smooth as silk.
He's gone to another level in this game. JackJumpers done a pretty decent job on him throughout the series, but he's 7-11 and 17 points.
Offensive rebound by McVeigh. Great D from Melbourne. Majuk Den goes down. United enjoying some momentum. 2 more. Timeout, Tasmania. Majuk Deng with an injury problem. No problems for United right now.
And what a fight back from Melbourne United. That ball's popping around. You know who's likely to get it. And also dish out some harm. Matthew Dellavedova.
Yeah, nothing malicious at all in that one. And straight away he goes from one to the other, gets all the way down to the free throw line. And they had that numerical advantage because of Majuk Deng was down on the floor, and they make the most of it. Good couple of minutes for Melbourne United.
We got a rebound. We're getting stuffed. We can't get up with the ball. We got a rebound. 2 hands and go attack the ball. We're getting the paint. But I still want to go. Let's come back with all right. Push point. Push point. All right. Push point. Quarter out strong. Together. 1, 2, 3 together.
It's been a common theme all throughout the series for Scott Roth is the rebound count rough. They won the rebound count in games 2 and 3. They won the game. Tonight they trail in the rebound count. They trail in the game.
And they've got to find a way to especially target Ariel Haporti on the defensive rebounding situation, Andrew.
Yep.
He's got 2 old boards in just 9 minutes of play. And down here on the offensive end, I'd like to see them get McVeigh back in the screen and pop situations. That's where he's been able to get separation against Travers and be beneficial.
Some work to do for Tasmania on the back of that timeout. Doyle's little float up off the back of the iron. Kicks it straight out to McDonald for 3.
Well, he just does not flinch. Missed a 3-ball possession or 2 ago, but no hesitation on the kick out. And we've seen the most emotion we've seen in Dean Bickerman almost the entire series.
I thought I did something wrong.
Yeah.
Magnay knocks it away from Hook Porty. JackJumpers with their turn to take the lead back. McDonald glides away from Dellavedova. Hook Porty picks up his second. Good response by Tasmania out of the timeout.
Oof, was it ever? Here's the kick-out pass by Doyle. No hesitation, decent effort. There we see Dean Bickham just... He knew how important that little stretch, and it broke that run that they were on, that 3-ball. He understood momentum's a big thing as Chris Goulding gets some rest on the bench.
And speaking of rest, Scott Roth not willing to give Jack McVeigh much at all. He's played 26 of the 29 minutes so far. showing no signs of slowing down, well-conditioned. He's mentally tough.
He's averaged 32 minutes a game across this grand final series, Ruck. And rightly so. He's one of their most important pieces. Big minutes again tonight. Shot clock at 2 for Travers. Blocked by Matt.
They called it goaltending.
I don't know.
Must have hit the backboard, I assume.
Take a look here.
Great move.
Yeah, hit the backboard. Clear. Good call by the officials.
Magna's just back into stalking mode again, which he was at the back end of the regular season. We haven't seen him much in this championship series.
Just such a threat. You always have to be aware of where he is anytime you get near the rim on both ends.
Here's a little handoff to Doyle. Off the glass, Milton Doyle getting himself going in the third quarter, has 7 points.
I like that action they're running, Andrew. The ire against Delhi has increased.
I didn't think it could get any louder. And here we are. 6 seconds left on the clock. Dellavedova trying to get busy, and does. As tough as it gets from Matthew Dellavedova. Big bucket on the stroke of three-quarter time. And it's Melbourne who lead by 1. Tasmania, 1 quarter away from championship glory. Melbourne, 1 quarter away from sending it home on Sunday. Stick with us. This is the Hungry Jacks NBL.
We've only got a minute, let's get into it. Ball for ball, $50 each ball, and then you both get a bank shot. All right, hang on, T-Pain, hang on. Right, Marcel Baggerino. T-Pain, you're up in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Righto. Come on, Payne, better than that. Marcel Baggerino, get behind them, please. Charity here. Righto, Steph, get out of this one. Stand here, Steph. Steph, get here. You win goals, T-Pain, you go the next one. Righto. Tim, come on, Beth. Let's go, T-Pain. You've got a minute. Get out of the way, Beth. Payne, you're doing much better, I think. He's blocking up for charity. Can you believe it?
Alrighty, bank shot time. Debbie's up. Here we go. Concentration. Oh.
Bev was blocking it for charity, but that's all right. We've got 1,000. We'll add it up. Thank you so much for the Royal Hobart Children and the Chief Foundation. Come on, let's go.
Tasmania, this is championship basketball. We need your energy to get home. We need to hear you. Let's pump it
It's three-quarter time at MyState Bank Arena. Tasmania won the quarter by 1, 27-26, and Chris Golding started to get his shooting game going in that third quarter. A couple of knockdown threes. He has 11 points, but from a Melbourne United point of view, it's Ian Clark with 17 on 7 of 11 shooting. He's won an NBA championship. He's bringing his very best to game 4.
Well, it was vital that someone stand up and be outstanding for United, and Ian Clark has filled that role as Delhi just misses on a baby floater, gets the offensive rebound.
There's McVeigh again.
Wow, the hustle hustle, the determination, desperation. This is a beautiful thing, but concerns and alarm bells ringing for Melbourne United because Luke Travers is hobbled, trying to push through.
And can't properly put weight on that right foot. As excellent passing, quick decision-making off the back of that Jack McVeigh hustle leads to that breakaway layup.
Joe Healy, you were listening in Tasmania.
I was. Scott Roth was very clear at three-quarter time. He said, we've got 10 minutes of poise, boys. It's the little things, those 50-50 balls that you just saw Jack McVeigh get on. It's the rebounds. He said, let's stay disciplined and stay together.
Golding off the turnaround. First couple of attempts for Melbourne have been short.
And after making those 2 3-pointers, he's missed 2 or 3 from the three-point line. That time really pushing to get his own shot. They need to work harder.
Only
get
one
better looks. Sorry, Drew.
Only once in the last 9 games have Melbourne won the fourth quarter against Tasmania. McVeigh with a wild one. Both teams scrap after it. Clark no good off the glass.
That'll
be called on Doyle.
That's a good foul right there by Doyle, even though he complained. But they were in a real disadvantaged situation with Haporti there on the glass.
Trimmick, McVeigh, McDonald, Magnay and Doyle out there for Tasmania. Dellavedova, Porty, Clark, Travers and Golding for Melbourne.
Melbourne United complaining that think the foul was on the shot. I thought it was on the rebound.
I agree, Andrew. I thought it was a push in the back.
Yeah. It stands.
United from the baseline. Work by Sean McDonald. There's a level of tension right now that we haven't felt at any stage during this series. Delhi for 3. Puts Melbourne in front.
The way Delhi's going about it, he's not going to shy away from it. I think he loves hearing the boos. He thrives on it.
McVeigh gave up his look. Trimmick throws up an air ball. Both teams, all players feeling the tension. Travers with his feet set. Back-to-back threes for Melbourne United.
Huge. Ian Clark and Luke Travers, both 7 of 12 from the field. Both have 17 points. Big-time performances. What?
Well, he shot that because he thought he got fouled and wanted to earn the 3. He just threw it up and it went in. Not only go in, nothing but nylon.
Quick 3 from Dellavedova at the other end. Big offensive rebound by Hook Porty.
That's a bad shot by Delhi.
And then Golding playing through the contact. 3 threes in a row for United.
And none of them really good shots, but they're getting them to go. I'm including that one Doyle took, by the way, Drew.
That was otherworldly, that 3. It counts. So does that. 28 for McVeigh.
Delhi put his hand up. I think he needs a sub. And they've got Shea Illy on the bench getting ready to check in.
Well, it's that fine line, Andrew. Dean Vickerman has 2 timeouts left. With the fatigue that we're starting to see with the players on the floor, Drew, it's imperative that you run some offense. As we look at these 3 balls on the Harvey Norman replay, Delhi loads up from the top.
That wasn't easy. This is a wide open one. Travers lines it up. And then we see
those 2 were insane.
Threat. Yeah, and then that one there is just Chris Golding doing what he does best.
So it all the Harvey Norman replay. Back out to the advantage of McVeigh. Upstairs!
Nasty.
Going back with Mitchell Jr. with those 4 fouls. And he hasn't been great playing with fouls. He's been really tentative on the defensive end. And they can't afford him to be tentative.
Here's the lob. It's starting to accumulate now, Will Magnay. 8 points, 3 rebounds, a couple of blocks. Better minutes from him tonight. Melbourne by 1. Golding from really deep. From really deep.
Outrageous. They have taken, outside of Travis's 3 ball, have really been high-quality shots.
Donald trying to dribble his way out of trouble. Here's Doyle. It's a contact underneath. And foul on Clark. What about this shooting display to start the 4th quarter?
Well, right now, if you're Tasmania, Andrew, you just got to stay into Chris Golding's body.
Yeah.
He's feeling it like this. That's too much space off of that action. I don't care how deep he is out on the floor. I told you, it's about rhythm and flow. Distance is irrelevant.
Fourth quarter, game 4 of the championship series. Sean McDonald shot it like he meant it.
Well, we saw one of the greatest quarters of basketball in game 3 in that 4th, and the way this is starting, it's matching it.
Here we go again. I think we're still recovering from Sunday afternoon.
Travers is really laboring.
McDonald on the move. He's no good. Dellavedova getting set to check back in. Clark takes it through McVeigh.
And Jack with the physical play at a super high level. Vickerman brings in Bowen and Dellavedova.
Clark goes out, which maybe he wanted a quick rest.
And Travers needs one.
Travers, that foot seems to be giving him problems. Majuk Deng comes in.
Interestingly, Ian Clark just went into the tunnel too. John Casey.
We're just talking about Chris Golding's 3-point shooting. Absolutely unbelievable. He's now hit multiple threes in 15 of the 16 grand final games that he's played. He's up to 137 for the season, and the only people ahead of him played in the 48-minute era. So this is arguably the greatest 3-point shooting season we've ever seen by anyone in the NBL.
Great work from Dellavedova to keep that alive, but it was a forced look.
Guys on the floor is a wet spot you need to take care of.
JackJumpers trail by 1. Majuk Deng back into the game. The 4th quarter hero from Sunday. Bodies in on Dellavedova.
Not too much size. Delly does as good as you could expect, just in a one-on-one situation down low. And again, maybe the threat of the 3-ball, no help coming, and they just play one-on-one. Really doesn't go too far. There's the hustle. See, down low here, it's just doesn't really get anywhere.
There's a total isolation.
That's it.
No help whatsoever.
It was the ace up his sleeve, Scott Roth. He's turned to Majuk Deng again. Golding off balance. That's bordering on impossible.
And Chris Golding runs back, and he is limping quite heavily as well.
Doyle drives.
Trouble.
Tasmania extend their lead to 3, and Dean Vickerman wants to talk about it. 82-79, 4:09 remaining.
Big time possession right there. Milton Doyle. The obvious play would have been to move it and get it to an on-ball and involve JLA, but Doyle sensed the seam, got that ball in his left hand, and was real smooth with it change of pace finish. Gets a big bucket for the JackJumpers. He's up now to 12 points, and he's been solid, Andrew, without being great.
No, spot on, and this next couple of minutes, 4 minutes remaining, this next couple of minutes when you're 3 down, this is where the nerves start to kick in, because you know every single possession can be your season.
It's all up for grabs right now. 82-79, Tasmania leading Melbourne United in Game 4 of the Championship Series. There's Milton Doyle with the finish. There's one of the multiple live sites around Tasmania right now.
Chris Golding's checked out of the game, and he's hobbling on the sideline. I think that he's only going to get a quick rest, you suspect. These next couple of possessions from Melbourne United is coming really important.
Ian Clark back into the game with no Golding. Illy up top, thought about the three, got in deep instead. McDonald kept it alive.
The hustle. The good boards by McDonald.
Doyle will be shooting free throws. Dellavedova picks up his third.
Well, Andrew, he's starting to really work that corridor to the bucket. You see the hustle down here from McDonald.
Oh, he was out of bounds. He was out, that foot was down before it left his foot. Well, it certainly looked on at that one instance that
it was tight.
We saw.
Now, Andrew, it's about defensive rebounds, free throws if you're Tasmania. They've been solid on the defensive end. Melbourne United shooting at a solid 44%. But if you play good D, you got to clear it with rebounds.
The free ball's been good for Melbourne United as well, 45%. But their main weapon in that department, Chris Golding's on the bench.
Milton Doyle now has 14. Spark in this fourth quarter. Dellavedova taking matters into his own hands. Four of 10 for the night for Daly. From the Melbourne point of view, who else is going to come with him? We know Tasmania have got contributors all over the floor. Two looks for McVeigh, both don't go.
A little rushed that time. McVeigh. Trimming with that's a good foul.
Yep.
Just gets across in front. No hint of an unsportsmanlike. And that's going to be his fourth.
And also team foul, number 4.
Chris Golding still off the floor. And I'm going to say sitting near us looks pretty disconsolate. So we may not see him again. We'll keep our eyes on him. Clark off the back. Which way do the officials see this one?
Wow.
JackJumpers ball.
McVeigh gets away with grabbing KLA's left arm, I believe it was.
Team Bickerman has just earned himself a warning.
We have a look at this replay here, Andrew.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot in it, but
if he can't lift his left arm.
Down the deck in the low block. Little turnaround. Gets it to go.
One time they did send the double, but he went away from the double to the baseline, had to make a tough shot around the side of the backboard and was good enough to knock it in.
Golding getting ready to check back in. It may very well be last roll of the dice for Melbourne. Not if Dellavedova's got anything to do with it.
Andrew, you've got to admire the way he continues to find big buckets at the rim for Melbourne United. And Chris Golding, you see, he is impaired, Andrew.
He is not aware of the specific issue, but you're right, Matthew Dellavedova not shying away from the big moment and coming up with very important baskets.
JackJumpers by 3. The final 2 minutes of game 4. McVeigh had it knocked out of his hands. Back up to Doyle. Into the paint he heads. Illy looks up and has numbers weighted against him. Everything going through Dellavedova. His pass was a sloppy one into the corner. Golding can't make it count. JackJumpers ball, 1:20 to play.
Stating the obvious, but this is a must-stop possession from Melbourne United.
Deng once more. Size advantage over Illy. Rattles it out.
Oh, how did that come out?
United dodge a bullet. Dellavedova inside. He can't score.
Got to get it over the centre line.
Down to 45 seconds. Ball on the floor. Guess who's at the bottom of it?
Oh, no.
Dellavedova came up with it. Illy with the layup. 1-point game.
These guys are exhausted. They're absolutely out on their feet after 39 and a half minutes of high-level intensity. Tasmania clinging onto a 1-point lead as Delhi again gets down on the deck. Lead pass. Illy can barely elevate, Andrew, to finish that one off.
That was another great play by Shea Illy on the reach in there. Throwing it all on the line.
Both teams are absolutely spent. They've got to dig down deeper than perhaps they ever have before. Doyle checks the clock. 7 seconds to work with. Guarded by Dellavedova. Here goes Milton Doyle. That's knocked out of bounds, and that'll be a Melbourne ball.
16 seconds remaining. Dean Vickerman calls a timeout. And I'm pretty confident that he's going to advance it. Buy himself a little bit more time.
Here's that last play.
Tough drive, good D.
Now, Andrew, first question. Do you save it for the last shot, or are you going with the best look available?
I think you're going for the best look available at this stage. And they're just reviewing, I think, the out of bounds.
I was pretty certain that was Melbourne United basketball. Second part of that question, as we wait on this review, who are you trying to get it to?
Well, right now, I think that you're going to have a play that has multiple options. Here we have a look at trying to determine who it came off. Look, pretty obvious to me that it came off McVeigh. Excuse me, Deng. It was Deng with, I think, the last touch on it. But I think you're going to have an action here where there's multiple plays. So if there's an overplay, you come and you look at a Chris Golding, a slip action out of that because you know they're going to bite on Chris. And just getting it to Delhi and his penetration, he's been able to find his way into the paint and create things around the basket as well.
That's almost been their main method of scoring in the fourth quarter, hasn't it?
It has, and Delhi's done a really good job. He did miss that last one. Also, remember, Tasmania can't foul because Melbourne United go to the line and shoot two. But I think, Andrew, right now, I'm looking to get that ball to Ian Clark. I think he's probably going to have the matchup, and I think right now he's playing with the most confidence.
Well, in these situations, we've seen Dean Vickerman also running some back screen action and a play at the rim for Joe Lawala-Chul Jr. So don't rule that out as an early option and then get into your secondary option after that. But the thing about Melbourne United that they do have a number of options that they can go to. See, the Jackies would be playing back some of those last couple of possessions, and they had some good opportunities.
They had their hearts broken on Sunday, Melbourne. Is it their turn to be the heartbreaker? Down one, 16.8 seconds to play.
And they don't advance it. So they get a run at it.
Dellavedova with the ball handling duties. Down to 10, head down to the basket. Matthew Dellavedova. Oh, brilliant, simply brilliant.
That was quite simple. There wasn't much sophistication, a little phantom screen. JLA clears the lane, and Delly doing as Delly's done so often this series, using his muscle on his right hand. That's a tough finish still, Andrew.
Well, that's the play that we were referring to as an option. Just get it in Delly's hands, and he uses his body well. But there's plenty of time left for the JackJumpers. 7 seconds still remaining for them to get a high-quality shot.
Now, what I'm curious to see is who inbounds the basketball for the JackJumpers. Please, can it not be a guard, Andrew?
Well, someone with a bit of size. And there you look at Delly, and he has been a big part of this last 3 or 4 minutes for Melbourne United, and hasn't shied away from it, wanted the ball, and has delivered.
Who is it?
Well, I think you got to try and run some type of action for McVay, either outside the three-point line, down split line, or a catch off the block on the strong side. And then what, some type of low-key activity going on from Majuk Dang also.
They had 8 seconds to work with on Sunday, and that turned out to be plenty. 7.2 here. Sean McDonald to inbound. Deng was almost through. Melbourne get the ball back. Joe Lawala-Chul Jr. comes up big.
Well, it was a good play, and Majuk slips on the screen, and just there it is. It's open. It's a hand by Joe Lawala-Chul, and that is just desperation by Joe Lawala-Chul Jr.
An amazing defensive play from JLA. Not only there, but he's played most of this fourth quarter with 4 fouls. He comes up with a massive steal to put United in a really strong position potentially to win this basketball game.
Clark to shoot the free throws. Hasn't missed one in the championship series.
No timeouts, so they can't advance it. They've got Jordan Crawford waiting to check in.
Two-point game.
Don't tell me.
McVay does lightning strike twice. Melbourne come to enemy territory and win in a thriller. And we are going all the way to the end. Sunday at John Cain Arena will decide the NBL24 champion.
Andrew, just an amazing basketball game and tremendous resilience from Melbourne United. I said in the opener, if there's any team in this league that could come in here and get this game tonight, it was this team, the best team in the regular season, and they showed why right here at the biggest game of their...
They certainly did, and it was almost like the roles were reversed from game 4. The JackJumpers in a commanding position, weren't able to capitalize on a couple of offensive plays. And have a look at the last play. It was the miss, and just normally with those 4 seconds, you're actually thinking, are we better off missing? But because they didn't have timeouts, then you just want to make the basket. So he wasn't intentionally trying to miss that. He was trying to make it. And Jack McVay almost
got another good look at it, Andrew.
A really good look.
88-86, the final score. It's a series that deserved 5 games, and that's what we're getting.
And it was straight after the game, the leaders, Chris Golding, they were trying to contain their teammates, say, hey, let's not celebrate this, keep a lid on it. But when they get back in that locker room, I think they'll start rejoicing.
Let's get over to Case.
Thanks, Jack. Matthew Dellavedova. Wow, what a finish. They put the ball in your hands and you came up strong.
Yeah, I appreciate Dino and the boys trusting me, but I mean, we had so many big plays. CG, I see Joe got that steal at the end. Shilly's D all night, LT being aggressive, so we knew it was going to be a tough place to come in and win, and we were going to need everybody.
9 of your 15 points in the last quarter. You just refused to let this one go, didn't you?
I mean, everyone did. We won it bad. We knew it was going to be tough. They're a great team. And, you know, it's going to be a good game on Sunday.
Enormous effort. Good luck on Sunday.
Thanks, guys.
Let's go, Joe.
What a performance from Matthew Dellavedova. Let's get over to Joe Healy.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I've got Chris Golding with me. What a win. What did you guys have to find mentally and emotionally to get that done tonight?
Oh, look, we had to dig in and rebound the basketball. We've been speaking about this for 4 games, so I think when it counted, we came up with some big plays to secure the basketball. But every game, we've been in a great position, and we've let ourselves down, to be honest. But I think that game, we stood tall. Some guys played through, foul trouble. Yeah, it feels good. I said to you just before, it doesn't make up for game 3, but it sets everyone back on the right track. Now everyone's done what they're supposed to do. 2 games each, we go to game 5 to try and win a chip.
Exactly right. Back on your home court. What do you need to do come Sunday to get this done?
We just need to be locked in. We're going to have a game plan. It's going to come down to who wants it more.
All right, good luck for on Sunday. Enjoy this win.
We're back to wrap it up on the other side of this. Melbourne United are going home on Sunday, and we have a series tied at 2-all. 88-86 the final score. Stick with us. This is the Hungry Jacks NBL. You wouldn't be dead for quiz.